Good morning, friends and beautiful people. So we are here in the kitchen, and let me show you because wonderful things have happened. There she is. She's not hooked up, but she's here. She got delivered the day that I made the video, and then Saturday, our Amish kids came over, took the railing off the porch, and lifted it up. I'll show you that here. All right, here's the railing. And there's where they had to lift it from. So we're talking they had to lift it up a whole story. She's 700. So where we used to live, it was not uncommon to own your own propane tank. And then you could call around, get prices on propane, and order your propane from whoever had the best price. And at one point last year, for an example, propane was $1.49 one place, and then $4 and change somewhere else, like $4.29, $4.39. So let's just say, for just demonstration purposes, that there was $3 a gallon difference in price. If you lease a propane tank, they add another dollar on per gallon for the lease. So on a 500-gallon lease, that's $400 just for the lease portion of it. So if we had bought at the $4 per gallon, it would have been $1,600 plus the extra $400. Whereas if we owned it, it was, we'll just call it $1 so that we're rounding everything. It would have been just the $1 a gallon, $400. So we could have paid $400, we'll even call it $450, $450, or we could pay $2,000 for the same fill up, if you're following me. $1,600 for the actual gas, and then the other $400 for the lease portion of it. So you see why a lot of people choose to buy their own tanks. And so for another point of demonstration, when we got down here, we started calling around to buy a tank. And up there, you could call the actual propane company and buy it. Well, down here, they don't sell used tanks. So if you want to buy a tank, it's $3,500. Okay, a little out of our budget. And basically, it just fueled my fire on the government trying to, and it's regulated, okay? So I just went on one of my tangents that here we go, they're trying to keep us from using gas. Well, then, we did find out that it's because of what happened with COVID. And I know I'm going to probably get dinged for saying it, but with the shortages and the people to actually work, and all the things that happened when there were propane issues, the C-19 didn't do any favors for it, and that's what caused everyone to supposedly get off of the inventory of the old tanks and only place their own tanks so that they would just fill as needed and it wouldn't be a hardship for them. Well, based on just the one scenario that I told you about with the $3 versus, the difference in price of $3 a gallon plus the other dollar, I told Hubs, I said, well, we'll just wait to hook up the stove until we can afford to buy a new tank. And then my brother from another mother said, why don't you just go online, see if you can get a used one from someone other than a propane company. So where we used to live, part of why we left was because it was building up. They were putting natural gas in for everyone. So I posted on the buy-sell trade group up there that I was looking for a 500-gallon or a 1,000-gallon tank. And lo and behold, I'll show you this. Let me show you what I ended up with, because she is actually in better shape than the two that we owned at the other farm. So there she is. She's just going to get herself a little paint job. I don't know if you can see her down by the barn or not. But Hubs told me find her and I'll hook up your stove. Challenge accepted. There she is. So I went ahead and left the post up because this one's going to be for We're going to run it. I think she's going to go over there by the gate somewhere. I think that's where Hub said he was going to put her, or maybe down by that gate. But she will run up to there, and then we'll get another one for the quilt shop and the soap shop. So that one, right now, I've got some 100-gallon tanks that I can use for it. Pay a little bit more for the gas, but at least we won't be paying $4 a gallon more. So that's where that is. But it has been a little strange. Just because we know there are people down here who own tanks, and we just thought it was weird that we couldn't buy a used tank down here. What else do I know? I think that's about it for today, but we have propane, we have a stove, our Amish sons got it up there and got it ready to go, and now all we need is, Hub's got, I can show you some of the wiring he's doing, it's crazy. So he has to put in 4/0 wire, and it's really hard to bend and turn and get it through conduit. Actually, I can show you one more thing. We brought one of the aquaponics tanks home. So it's not for us. We have 3. We're going to loan this to one of our Amish sons to use for minnows over at his store. So that'll be fun to surprise him. We're surprising him today with that. Actually, Hubs is. I'm going out of town. Let me show you this wire. So here it is, and it's called 4/0, and I believe that's because there's 4 big fat wires, and that's what the "ought" means. You can laugh at me later. So he is having to, where it's been wound up on a spool, he's been having to get it so that he can straighten it out so that he can run it through conduit. And in this case, he's going across the top of the barn so that he can get it into the breaker boxes. So this is the last one he has to do. I think it took him like 3 hours just to get that little fella in there, because even I was on the ladder helping. He was not fun. But after that, he has to do the one over at the shop, I think, and then it's just a matter of starting to install, put in all the plugs and things. So we're super excited about that. We are opening the quilt shop for the Amish only at first, because they're used to not having power, and I won't be able to take credit cards, and we won't have lights. I'll just have the Amish lights. So we're going to open it up for them starting the 19th. So this coming Saturday, me and the girls are going to an Amish auction in northern Ohio, and then the following Saturday we open. So that's super exciting. And then after, here's a disclaimer. We are still putting in a commercial hood for the commercial stove. They have to custom build it, and they will do that before I use it. So anyway, friends, don't let anybody tell you can't do something. Just do it. And the worst thing you can do is tell an Appalachian girl no. So until next time, be blessed and be a blessing.